Hey y'all, it's kind of late. Got the TV on, the kids is here. We're chilling. Well, the girls, we're just chilling. And something that I seen today that caught my attention was you can survive your hard year with faith. So today was not, I don't want to say it wasn't a good day because it was a good day, but it had its hiccups. And during those hiccups, I was trying to like express myself. That's what I'm trying to learn how to do, right? Is express myself and, you know, not really like feel sorry for it. Like, cause that's one of the things of being an empath. If is you're so used to, you know, like babysitting other people's feelings, and you tend not to even think about your own. So I was talking and I realized that I was expressing myself, and the other person was like getting loud, and like I could tell in their tone they had like a little to it with me. So I'm like, listen, like it's no need for all of that, the loudness, the tone, like it ain't need for like. And mind you, I was already not in the mood. I was already like, ugh, because of circumstances. So I'm like, listen, I'm not raising my voice. I'm not screaming and yelling. I'm not doing none of the things that I used to do. Mind you, you get me mad, I might take it there. So I'm just like, let's just communicate, whatever. I said, if not, then try again next time. So, but, we ended up coming to a common ground and communicating respectfully and actually hearing each other out because, I'm like, I don't think you're like really hearing me. I don't think you're really hearing me, and I'm just trying to express myself, whatever. Like, and I feel like when I'm trying to express myself, I often get called like negative, or I'm always, trying to create a problem. But it's like, no, these are my real true like feelings, like this is how I feel, and I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just expressing myself. It's not. I'm not saying you have to agree, or like you have to consider my idea and only my idea. No, it was just me expressing myself. So, but that ended up turning around. But I noticed when I still got off the phone, like I still was a little like annoyed. Not that I was mad or anything. I was irked. I was annoyed. Like why did it even have to go there? But that just brings me back to like circumstances and things that come along your way when you're on your spiritual journey. It's like those things come up as far as to see if I'm going to, and this is just my perspective, just to see if I'm going to, you know, resort back to those old ways. And I have been trying to, you know, move forward with my life and not necessarily, resort back to the things that I used to do as far as like get myself worked up and things like that. I do allow myself to cry it out if I am feeling that emotional, and that honestly helps me, you know, that honestly helps me to, thank you. So that helps me to, okay, 1 second, okay? That helps me to, damn, I don't even remember what I was saying because she just distracted me. Every time I get into the phone to record a video, here she comes. She want to be in it so bad, like, but I don't want her in it. Like, back up. So I'm like, damn, I don't remember what I was about to say. But anyway, it just took me back to, like the feeling took me back to like, I'm irked, like, and me like learning how to try to work through that feeling. So, which it didn't take me that long. I got myself together after a little while, but what popped up was, this like quote or whatever, like on the page. It was just like, you can survive your hard year with faith. So, and I'm like, you know what? This has been a very hard year for me. And, having faith has even got me to this point, because I feel like this is something that, could have possibly broken me down, because, like as a parent, you don't want to like, no. As a parent, you don't want to, not be able to support your children or, have stability for them, because, that's one of the things that, I feel like I want to create for my children, because I didn't really have that much stability, like growing up and just being able to rely on my parents and, parent, because, I was with my mom. Well, really, I was with my grandma, but, my mom had custody. You guys know how that goes, just in most black communities. Your grandmom always step up. Like, grandmom is like the, backbone of the family, for real. But that's another story for another day. And it just made me realize that, I had to be very appreciative for the things that I do have, like being able to have somewhere for my children to be or go and sleep and eat, is all the things that I'm basically like taking for granted, was just like right here in my face. Like, God's like, girl, like, I understand these obstacles may just keep coming, or you may keep feeling like you're just super overwhelmed, but you have things that you could be grateful for. Even just me taking the time to, receive knowledge, and, being able to, look up like information that I would like to learn more of, and, just the whole process of this journey. And I feel that, I have been taking the littlest things for granted, and I'm like, because for me, it could be worse, because I've been homeless before, like, but it was just me. It wasn't me and my children. So just, I know that feeling of like no support and no like body to really be able to count on. So for this, I am grateful, because, I wouldn't really want to be homeless with my children, especially right now. It's really cold outside, or, has been for a couple of days. But yeah, I just wanted to, record this message and just say that, we take the little things for granted a lot of the times, majority of the times. Jayla, no. And when I had my my own place, and the things that I felt like I needed to create the stability in my life and things like that, I took those things for granted as well. And even just in the now being, I'm taking certain things for granted, and that's just, my healthy children, myself even being healthy, waking up every day, getting a breath of life in my body, being able to eat and shelter and bathe and, It's all those things that I take for granted that, you know, maybe even some people may not have. And, you know, that's just what made me, you know, see that like quote, and I'm like, you know what, I am definitely taking what I have for granted. And even my faith, even my connection with God, I'm taking it for granted, because it's like, you know, this is an experience that all of us get to have. I'm not saying I'm the only one to have it, but, you know, it's just like, I feel that I could just show a little bit more gratitude for the things that is present in my life now. So yeah, that was just my message for all of us. It's just to just be grateful for the small things. Be grateful for the things that, you know, we may not even see being done. And it's like, and also, guys, communicate. It's like, I'm still learning how to communicate effectively with people. I was never really good with that, but, you know, me expressing myself, I've always, you know, expressed myself, or sometimes I didn't, you know. I'm working on just communication in general and expressing myself in a way where I'm not being like abrasive or like a bully, in a way where, you know, I might say something that to me may not seem like that big of a deal, especially in the moment if I'm annoyed or angry about something, or just maybe even harboring feelings. I just feel like I can tend to be rude and not really like considerate of people. But yeah, like, just communicating better and effectively, where I'm not, it's like I'm still getting my point across, but, you know, I may not be like hurting someone's feelings about it, basically. And sometimes people need their feelings hurt, I ain't gonna lie, because it's like, who is you playing with? But for the most part, I can learn to communicate with people more effectively. So yeah, I just want everybody to know that you are loved, you are loved, you are loved. And I even have to remember that I am loved. But we're all growing people. We're all growing and evolving. So you guys grow and evolve with me, okay?